Honda finally won a championship after their return to F1. However, as had been decided earlier, last year also marked the final season for Honda in the sport for the time being. Honda's motorsport boss Masashi Yamamoto has looked at the possibility of Honda returning to F1 while speaking to F1's official website. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Formula World, Honda motorsport boss expects Honda's return to Formula 1. Yamamoto began by explaining why they can consider their F1 project to be a success. We can say this project has been a success as we leave the sport having helped Max Verstappen win the Drivers' World Championship. He elaborated how they have been able to deal with challenges and prove themselves. Even while having to deal with logistical difficulties, partly down to the COVID-19 pandemic, in this, our last season, we have been fighting with very strong rivals and we came out on top of the Formula 1 world. We were able to prove the validity and effectiveness of our technology and the abilities of our workforce. He also acknowledged the part played by Red Bull and AlphaTauri. Of course, we could not have achieved these results without the major role played by our great partners, Red Bull Racing, with whom we won the title, and also Scuderia AlphaTauri, who welcomed us with an open mind, allowing us to move forward together after a difficult 3 years. He summed up his words by detailing what it would take for Honda to return to F1. Personally, I hope and expect Honda will come back to Formula 1. It depends on young people in Honda being passionate about motorsport and if they can convince senior management to come back, but history repeats, so I hope it can happen. Fast feed. Alfa Romeo's Valtteri Bottas suggested that Lewis Hamilton, his previous teammate at Mercedes, has such a great experience in Formula 1, yet he has been able to always keep learning and getting better and better. It doesn't happen by itself. He works for it because he knows that the competition is always getting tougher. I've definitely learned a lot from him, but it's just impressive that he can still develop. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner is of the opinion that his driver Max Verstappen has so much natural talent that it is easier for him than for other drivers to drive to the limit. He doesn't feel any pressure when he's full throttle, so he can still see what's happening with the race, the car, and the opponents. That's very rare. For Max, the car needs to be as fast as possible. It doesn't need to be comfortable. Former F1 driver Nico Hülkenberg feels that the driving experience with regards to the 2022 cars hasn't changed that much, at least in the simulator. It will be very interesting to see whether these cars can really follow the car in front better. In the simulator, the cornering speeds are extremely high, so the risk of dirty air is still given, and it's difficult for me to imagine that following another car comfortably at these speeds will be easy. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko is of the opinion that their driver Sergio Perez is incredibly loyal and a team player. Of course, we went through certain scenarios with him. He delivers without grumbling, protesting, or asking questions. Ferrari Charles Leclerc feels that he has improved the most with regards to race management. That's since early 2020 I started to say it was one of my weaknesses, especially in 2019. I had a lot of good qualifying sessions, but in the race I was struggling a bit more. So, I put a lot of work into it in 2020. I got much better. Sometimes I sacrifice a bit more my qualifying to be good in the race. I'm working on getting the perfect balance between quali and the race. Do you think the 2022 F1 cars will solve the problem of dirty air? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.